Hey guys, this video is directed at Nintendo fan YouTube channels and their content creators, and is directed at Nintendo fans, of course. I have a very important challenge for all of you to take part in, but it starts with the YouTube content creators. Now, something in this community needs to change, and needs to change right now. I noticed that Shokyo did a video yesterday, and most of you probably have seen it, but he mentioned my video that I did about the defects of the Nintendo Switch and the hardware failures.
I lose subs. People hate me even more. I tarnish my reputation with each negative video that I do, and I've been well aware of this for years now, and I still do it. So don't you think there is some underlying point you guys are missing if I am intentionally hurting my channel? People calling me a Nintendo hater. People calling Super Metal Dave a Nintendo hater now. I just watched his video, and it's crazy because he did a video where he pointed out a lot of the hardware problems. Let me see if yeah, here it is right here. He made a video pointing out all the problems, and look at the dislikes. And all he did was pretty much talk about, the compilation of all the, problems people have been having with their Switches and stuff like that. People in the comments calling him a Nintendo hater just because he said, hey guys, people are having lots of hardware problems with their Switches. That's all the video was! That's all he said in the video. Was the Nintendo Switch has a wide variety of issues, and Nintendo should have did a better job of, stress testing and, just testing out the system before launch. That was the point of his video. And he gets called the Nintendo hater. So what this boils down to is the Nintendo fan base, this isn't rocket science, I've said this before, but of course, the Nintendo fan base does not like criticism. Period.
So this whole thing about being a Nintendo hater because you criticize them is completely wrong, and I totally agree with him 100%. This is where the community needs to change, and needs to change drastically. And it starts with the YouTube content creators. Because how many times are we seeing the same old thing from Nintendo? And then what do we get from YouTube content creators? The same old thing every time. Each and every time. All they do is damage control, make excuses, or basically lie and say everything is great, don't worry about it. And I'm not naming anybody here at all, but the thing is that there is an agenda because first of all, you want to grow your YouTube channel, you want to get more subscribers, and if you're focused on Nintendo content, you don't want to say anything bad about Nintendo because you want to get more subscribers, get more views, and hopefully start your glorious career in YouTube, getting support from Nintendo, getting review copies of games, going to events, things like that. That's great. That's an outstanding goal to achieve, and I completely support that. And it's really fun to do YouTube. But it comes to a point where has to be a line that's drawn, right? The truth, or making excuses, something needs to give, and you need to start actually sharing your real opinion for a change on something when something obviously is bad, and it's obvious to everyone else who's not a Nintendo fan that it's bad. You should be a little bit more realistic, don't you think? So, the hardware failures of the Nintendo Switch are very real, okay? It's not made up. It's not just a little tiny bit going on. There is a myriad of things that are going wrong with the Switch. And you may not realize this, but the Nintendo Switch has the most problems with it from any Nintendo console in the history of their releases. And name me one console that Nintendo has ever released that has had this many issues with it. And now, I'm not talking about hardware failures, in general, and how many they are as far as per console. I'm not talking about that because the numbers are not available yet. But I'm talking about the number of issues reported, in general. This system has the most in Nintendo history. Okay, I can go on and on and on about the whole list of problems, from the Joy-Cons disconnecting to the screen problems, turning blue, turning orange, the system overheating, games freezing, OS freezing, cartridge slot not working, putting the game in and it doesn't read it. The list goes on and on and on. And if you don't think it's real, it is real. I have a friend who lives up towards Los Angeles, and he was looking for the Switch in different Walmarts. And this was just last weekend, and there was quite a bit of Switch consoles returned to Walmart. I went to a Walmart in Irvine, Garden Grove, Long Beach area, and they all had Nintendo Switch consoles that were returned. And he informed me that these systems had the same defects that we've been talking about. They had Joy-Cons that didn't even connect to the system at all. They had screens that didn't work at all or were freezing. They had cartridge slots that wouldn't read the cartridge. They had the whole list of problems just in this little area towards Los Angeles in Southern California. And Southern California actually has probably the most systems shipped to it because California is basically the most populated state in the United States. So besides that, the problems are very real. The most common one is the Joy-Con issue of it disconnecting. And that looks like it is a hardware defect as far as it being designed incorrectly. You look at the Joy-Con and how it's designed inside of it. You've seen the video, of course. SpawnWeb did a video and he took apart the Joy-Con. The antenna is designed differently than the right Joy-Con. It doesn't work the same. You can manually fix it yourself, but it should have came that way in the first place, right? Then, of course, you have the dock, which looks like it's a manufacturer problem. So the dock scratches your Nintendo Switch, and it looks like it's coming designed a little bent on the inside. So when you put the Switch in, it gets scratched pretty much automatically. And there's been myriads of examples on YouTube of people actually putting a brand new Switch into their dock, and then it gets scratched on 1 or 2 uses. This is a fact, okay? The fact is there are problems and defects with this system. I don't care what you say, or I don't care if you say it's a normal part of, the releases of these consoles. Take a look at the Xbox 360. It had the red ring of death, of course, because it was overheating, right? But we don't understand is that those problems weren't all just happening within the first week. The Switch has been out for 1 week. So Xbox 360 had these problems start really popping up after the first year on release. And the system was overheating, discs were being read. But that was the main problem with it, was that it was overheating, okay? So the Switch has a myriad of different issues. And not only that, but the design of it, the screen doesn't have protection around it. It could have had, rubber, backing or plating around it so it wouldn't get scratched when to protect it. And then you got the Joy-Con straps who are designed terrible, absolutely horrible. You have to really be careful. Don't put it on backwards if you're not paying attention. Then you got to use a screwdriver and detach it and everything. And you literally have damage control videos on YouTube. When I say damage control, people doing videos on how to actually function and make your Nintendo Switch work to avoid damage control. So you have this stuff going on. This is unheard of, guys. This is unheard of for a Nintendo launch. Nintendo 3DS, Wii U, Wii, DS, it didn't have these type of problems, guys. If they did have problems, it was focused on one issue. Maybe a disc, issue, or maybe a dead pixel. Yeah, there we go, dead pixels too. There's another issue too. So the list goes on, and glitchy sounds from the system. We saw that with Shokyo's Switch as well. Crazy. This is insane. It's really crazy that all these things are happening. All these different things are happening with the Switch. Never, ever has this happened before in Nintendo's history. Name me one console that's done that. Name me. I don't think you can. So the problems are real, okay? The good news, I guess, is that it's selling well, right? I mean, it's breaking records, Nintendo says. We don't have the hard numbers in front of us. They haven't provided that yet. They say it's off to the best start. So that's good news. But that doesn't change the fact that there's these hardware problems with the system. You can't ignore one thing and focus just on the other thing. It doesn't work that way, guys. So what I challenge each and every one of you YouTube commentators or YouTube, Nintendo content creators, I challenge you to make just one video. Just one video. I'm just asking for one. Drop the facade. Be honest. Tell us what you really think about the Nintendo Switch and its hardware problems, the concerns you have on it. Forget about, losing your subscribers for one video. They're not going to go anywhere. Don't worry, okay? But, take off the clown makeup. Stop pretending to be something you're not, just for one video. I know you want to get all that Nintendo hype going, and you want to make sure that you have as many followers as possible. You don't want to make Nintendo fans upset. Nintendo fans follow you and your example. So if you're excited about something, they're probably going to be excited about something too. If you're making excuses about something, they're going to make excuses about it too. Look, Nintendo isn't paying you. Are they? Are they paying you, Mr. Content Creator? No. In fact, they are blocking some of your content from being showed on YouTube. They're copyright claiming, stuff. They're not paying you anything to do their dirty work for them, basically, making excuses. That's what Reggie's for. He's making excuses. He does a good job at it, I have to admit. But Nintendo's not paying you to make excuses for them. Don't do it. Don't let them slide and, just get away with stuff because you don't want to lose subscribers. Be honest with your fans. You have the power. So that's what I'm trying to say here. Just do one video. Try it out. It might feel good. Do a critical video about Nintendo. Be honest. I've talked to some of you guys offline, okay? I know who you are, whatever. We're not naming names here. I've talked to developers offline. None of them, I'm not referring to anybody who's been on my channel in interviews, but I've talked to developers offline, and they, are frustrated with Nintendo as well, and some of the business decisions they've made. They also are, kind of frustrated with the fans because the fans don't seem to care either way. That's where we come in, the content creators, trying to bring a voice to you guys, so maybe you guys can see that it's okay. It's actually okay to be critical of Nintendo because you want them to succeed. I'm not critical of Microsoft or Sony. I'm not a big fan of those companies. You see? I could care less about Microsoft. I'm not an Xbox fan. You don't see me here bashing Microsoft though, and why is that? Because I don't care about them. Don't care. I care about Nintendo though. So, but I'm not bashing Nintendo guys either. I'm looking for answers. I want them to improve. I want them to fix these defects in their system before it gets way out of hand. The more systems they sell, the more problems consumers have, the more complaints they have, and the less sales it's going to have in the long run. That's just a fact. I have a neighbor, he's like 13 years old. He came up to me the other day. He said, Dave, he doesn't know I do YouTube, but he says, Dave, are you getting or did you get a Nintendo Switch? And I said, yeah, I got one. And I said, are you going to get one? He's like, no, I saw online that they break really easily, so I'm probably going to wait till they fix it. Well, he's a 13-year-old kid. He doesn't know what's going on, but he heard it's making the rounds, it's making the news. These systems are breaking. People get the perception that they're breaking. Nintendo needs to fix it. Stop ignoring the truth. Have a voice. The louder you speak to Nintendo about your frustrations, and the louder you are, the quicker they're going to act. If you say, these defects happen, it happens. Not like this. This is the most they've ever had for a console launch in their history. The absolute most. 100%. You can't prove me wrong there. So you have a voice. YouTube content creators, you have a voice to help fans have a voice, to help fans express themselves. Stop making excuses. Stop damage controlling. Tell the truth. I'm just asking for one video. Try it. And this goes to absolutely everyone who owns a Nintendo Switch. I don't care if you have no issues with it at all. If it's working perfect for you, it doesn't matter. It's like the patient and doctor syndrome. The patient goes to the doctor. Patient says, doctor, my knee hurts really bad. It hurts really bad, doctor. Doctor says, well, my knee doesn't hurt. I'm fine. I don't care, if you don't have any problems with the Switch. If it's working fine for you, that's great. working fine for me, that's great. The fact of the matter is it's not working fine for many people. And many are extremely upset. You've seen the videos. You've seen how upset people get when their systems break. Do you want that to happen to you? How do you feel about it? Express yourself. Be honest. So it's okay. I know many people are scared or whatever because, this is the only thing Nintendo has. It can't fail. It can't fail. It's good. It's good. It's good. All I'm asking is for Nintendo to continue to acknowledge these things are happening and to make the adjustments needed. Now, Reggie did say they are acknowledging the Joy-Con issue and the scratching screen issue. And hopefully the overheating and the sound bugs and the cartridge slot not working and these other things that are happening with the Switch don't become even as big as the Joy-Con issue, because the majority of the problem is the Joy-Con issue. And that's a big problem. Really big. So at least they are working on it. But for you to ignore it and say it's not a big deal, you're fooling yourself, okay? For you to ignore that it has no third-party support, you're fooling yourself. And here's why. Nintendo themselves hyped third-party support back in October when they revealed the Switch. They put that big old picture up of all that third-party support, right? Did you guys get excited for that? Yes, you did. Now what? There is no third-party support as far as AAA third-party support is. It's all indie support, which is great. I love indie developers. Outstanding. I love first-party from Nintendo. Outstanding. But you guys were hyped for third-party support. Don't deny it. You, YouTube content creators, were hyped for third-party support. Don't deny it. There's video proof. Where is it now? Now what are you doing? You're making excuses why it's not there. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Nintendo hyped it themselves. They put it right there on the screen for you, saying, look at all this third-party support. The Switch, we're on it, man. It's not there, guys. No one's addressing that either. I am. It's okay. It's okay to be critical of that because guess what? Nintendo themselves hyped it for you, the fans. They know it's important. But now what? It's not important? You're making excuses for them? Are they paying you? They're not paying you. Okay. Oh, you're paying them. You're paying Nintendo. So not only are you paying Nintendo, but you're making excuses for Nintendo as well. Man, Nintendo has it pretty good, don't they? It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. My whole channel is dedicated to them. But I don't go for this kind of stuff. I see through it. I just ask for a little bit more honesty from you, YouTube content creators. Do something about it. You have a voice. All right. Let me know what you think in the comment section. It's just ridiculous right now, guys. All right. I'll talk to you later. Take care.